Hi, I wanted to talk to you today about real, honest motherhood. I just want to have a conversation to just sort of put all that we as moms need to do and put it into perspective and give us a solution. So, if we haven't met yet, my name is Conradie. I am the creator of the Be Meaningful Journey and the host of this YouTube channel, Motherhood Made Simple. So let's just look, this was my journey, right? So let's just look at all the things we're actually asked to do as moms. I'm going to weave in some main key elements about life first, right? So let's just look at a couple of these things so that we can really get to the bottom of what we're doing as moms and then get ourselves some help so we can flourish, right? So we can navigate motherhood with more ease, grace, meaning, and joy. So let's just look at life for a second. What is the purpose of life? Just in general, right? We each have an individual purpose, but the overall purpose of life to grow, to evolve, to become the next best version of ourselves, right? To continually educate ourselves and learn new things and experience life in more joyful, loving, caring, compassionate ways, right? That's everyone's life purpose is that. And then we just do that in many different ways. The other part, what else do we know about life? The only certainty we know is that life is uncertain. Change is a constant. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. So, same with us. We don't stay the same. Our children don't stay the same. They're constantly changing. So are we. Right? Another thing that is inherent to being human is we repeat the past. Patterns repeat. This isn't a bad thing. This is just the way we're wired. We are wired as conditioned, habitual creatures, if you will. Remember Pavlov's dogs and the experiments about how you can train a response? This is human beings as well. If you look in nature, patterns repeat. This is what mathematics and all that is about. And geometry, shapes repeat. You'll find them everywhere, right? So we have repeating patterns. Then we go into learning, right? How do we as human beings actually learn? We learn through osmosis. You know that saying says, children absorb their environment, right? They soak up everything. Some phrases like that, right? That's because our children are sponges. They're like a blank slate. And they're learning through their experience. They're learning through osmosis, meaning they absorb the experience, the tone, the feeling, the energy of the environment that they are in. So if you're in a school system that's really stressful, or a teacher that's really frantic or disorganized, as well as the flip side of that, very organized, everything flows. It's the difference in the classroom. The children pick up different experiences. Same as in our homes, same as with us as moms. Our children learn from us, not by what we say. If you've noticed that children don't usually listen to us a lot, right? But they actually learn from us. Who we're being matters more than what we do. This is one of the big things I'm going to communicate throughout just about all my videos. We need to be the change we want to see. This is a key part of making motherhood simple. When we don't, we then try to take our conditioned ways and try to put them on our children, and they don't like it. Now, this is not something we're consciously doing. This is the unconscious way we have been living, but we can change all that. I'm also going to teach us how to consciously create what we do want. in these videos, right? Not today, but in more videos. So if children learn through osmosis, one of the things we want to look at as moms is, what is the water that we're swimming in, right? What's the feeling of our homes? What's the feeling of ourselves when we engage with our children? We want to become more and more conscious of that, because that's what our children are picking up more than what we say with our words. The other thing about being human is we are what? Creatures of habit, meaning the brain creates some kind of way to make sense of the world and keep us safe and keep everything the same, because the brain doesn't like change. So right away, you'll notice that part of life is uncertainty. Part of life is everything changes. Yet we have a brain that doesn't like change. So what does it do? It just remembers the past. It keeps repeating what it knows. One of the things you and I probably have run into as moms is we don't know what we don't know. So what happens, and this is where a lot of conflicts come in with being a parent, tantrums show up, arguments show up, frustrations show up, right? It's just because we are programmed consciously, right, if with our brains, to respond or react in certain ways over and over. This is the habitual part. Children, though, come along and require us to change these habitual patterns of thought, as well as some of the habits that we may do that may have worked for us before, past, but aren't going to work for us in the future. So we need to look at that as well. The other thing, I know you've heard of this at some point in your motherhood journey, is children come through us. They don't belong to us. When I first heard that years and years ago, I didn't quite grasp exactly what that meant. Now, 20 years into my motherhood journey, with lots of mistakes made along the way, I've learned that that is so true. Our children, just like we did when we came into the earth, right, when we were born, we came in whole and complete with a genetic imprint, so to speak, right? With a personality, with a soul, with a spirit, with a temperament already, right? We didn't create that. We came in like that. Well, our children do too. So if we think our children are going to be just like us and follow us and do what we say, we're going to set ourselves up for failure, because that doesn't really work in real life, if you've noticed, right? Our children have what? A mind of their own. This is a good thing. This is a really good thing. All we need to do is learn, expand what we know, right? Increase our ability to deal with the unknown and uncertainty and make changes with more ease and grace, because that's really what our children are wanting from us. They're growing and adapting and learning. They live in the present moment. And where are we living? In the past, with repetitive, habitual, conditioned ways, or we're out in the future trying to solve a problem or prevent a problem, right? We're not in the present moment very much. I've got some solutions for that too. So hang on to the end of the video when I share some of these things. So let's recap a little bit about what it really means to be a mom. And no wonder we feel overwhelmed, right? And I didn't even get to talk about today's current world, all of the problems and all of the things that aren't working, right? How education is needing transformation, right? And it is changing slowly. Also, we have global economic problems. We currently have a war going on. We have technology that is just taking off like lightning speed, we can't even keep up, right? We have social media influences. I mean, so we have modern day experiences that are really taxing us, let alone all the things I just mentioned, right? So again, no wonder we as moms feel overwhelmed, depleted, stressed out, exhausted, right? Because we're trying to raise a human being. We didn't get a manual. And half the time, we don't even know how to raise ourselves. We don't even know how to be our best self, right? That's going to change. All of what I offer you here in this Motherhood Made Simple channel and videos is an opportunity to really learn how you can be your best, how you can feel supported and nurtured, how you can get the education and the learning that you may need so that you can partner with your child in more harmonious ways. Not 100%, right? We're not going for perfection. We're going for conscious progress. We want to get off of automatic and we want to lean into consciously creating. We also, as moms, probably have a whole list of things that we want to teach our children. Ways of the world, virtues, values, right? Character traits, life lessons, let alone we want them to be healthy. We want them to eat well. We want them to exercise. We want them to know who they are. I mean, the list goes on, right? Okay, so before you freak out, don't do that. I have a solution. I literally took all of that information I just talked about. I read hundreds of books. I researched, oh my gosh, for years. I've been teaching meaningful mom classes, testing out all of this information, helping other moms grow and flourish and feel nourished and supported. And I put them all into what I call meaningful to-dos, right? 46, it turned out, right? I didn't know what the number was going to be, but 46 meaningful ways for you as a mom to not only learn and grow yourself so you can flourish, but these same recipe cards, right? These same meaningful to-dos that you're going to learn, you can use with your children so that they learn. But guess what? Remember I talked about we learn by osmosis? This is where motherhood gets to be made simple. We stop struggling. The tantrums, the upsets slowly start to dissipate because you're changing, you're learning, you're growing, you're getting more tools and skills, and that creates a different experience with your child. Your child starts to experience life differently. They start to cooperate with you. They start to listen to you more. They start to co-create with you. And it becomes this beautiful relationship as opposed to a tug of war and you're constantly at like odds. You just start to work more synergistically. So that's what I have to offer you here with Motherhood Made Simple. This video is just an overview capturing some of the key elements of what I'm going to talk about. And then I'm going to break down all of these different things in smaller bite-sized chunks for you to digest and learn and grow. But ultimately, what I really want for you as a mom, which is what I wanted as a mom most, right, was just some kind of peace of mind. I want to give you a way that you can really enjoy motherhood, like really. It doesn't mean that you're going to enjoy motherhood without any troubles and without any struggles or challenges. I'm not God and I can't create perfect, right? But I can help you enjoy motherhood with more awareness, learning how to communicate and connect deeply to your child's essence. And you too, your value, beauty, and strength will be seen, right? You're going to shed all kinds of layers of unconscious thinking and self-doubt and maybe even some feelings of, you're not capable. I mean, I felt like that a lot in my motherhood journey. You're like, I'm just not capable. I don't know. I can't do this. It's too hard. Right? And then I just settled down and I started to learn. And again, I put everything I learned into these meaningful to-dos. This is like all of my life's wisdom, right? From all of my education and my past jobs and my trials and errors with my kids. Lots of wisdom, from ancient wisdom to modern science, put into these simple, practical tools. I will put a link in the description box below where you can find out more about these meaningful to-dos and see if it's something that you would like to purchase for yourself. And if you really want to hear more from me, can you please subscribe? Just hit subscribe. Leave a comment below if that works for you, just so I know that you're in this journey too, that you want to flourish as a mom, and you're open to learning new ways. And then together we can really create a better life for you, for me, and for our children, most of all. My ultimate goal is for our children to know who they are, for them to know how to get their needs met, for them to really, really shine in life in today's world, right? Not in some like superficial way, but really authentically live our lives. That's what I'm all about. That's what I most wanted for my kids. I didn't know how to do that, so I learned. What I learned, I'm passing on to you. So I hope you'll stick around, and it's nice to meet you. See you guys soon.